Good evening. Hi, Ginger. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all your help. Nola gets first prize tonight. Mojave, nice to see you again. Thanks. Thanks so much for dropping by. Hope you had a good day today. Hey, Chloe and JB. Always great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. That blurry dot is the moon. I guess is a little bit past full now. Here's the sheet over here. Seems a little quiet tonight. There's a few moths coming in. A few midges, but not too many. There's something that's been calling in the forest the last few minutes. Sort of sounds a bit like the alarm call we heard the other night that I thought might be great horned owl. This time it's almost continuous. If you had headphones on, you might be able to pick it up. You hear that, Ginger? That's a strange sound. Chloe, you hear it too? Wish it was a bit closer. I wish I had a better microphone. Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Ginger. It's more like an alarm call or like somebody in distress. But I also seem to recall porcupines having really bizarre mating calls that sound a bit like this. JB can hear it better with the earbuds. Apples falling from the tree. Anyway, we'll assume it's not an animal in distress. And we'll move in to see who's at the sheet tonight. There was a large moth here a moment ago that I thought was probably what we used to call gypsy moth, but they've changed the name to make it more politically correct, and I can't remember what the new name is. for a long, long time, century or two. They've been called gypsy moths. But it seems like it might have moved on. I don't see it at the moment. Just take a quick look down here. There's a powdered big wing right there. Common blue physsia. Fair number of midges. Somebody hiding under the... Oh, this is the pepper and salt looper down here that we've seen once before. Pepper and salt looper. Beautiful moth. There's a new one. Oh, it flew away. There's a carrot seed moth, which we haven't seen before, but it's gone. Another common gluphisia. Sweet fern geometer. Up here, hi Mary. Thanks for joining us. Welcome aboard. We're just getting started. Not sure. I think it might be the glossy black idia, but I'm not sure of that one. That looks like the rotund idia. Yeah, I think Ginger, the first one that's flown already, I thought it was perhaps a glossy black idia, but I'm not sure. Everything is flying as soon as I point the light at it. Oh, here's our gypsy moth back. This is the first one for our stream. Quite a large moth. Big. Yep, glossy black idia, not sure. Righto. Yeah, this is a gypsy moth. Kind of a famous moth for the damage they sometimes do to deciduous trees, but really never a problem around here. I'm just going to move around the other side of the lamp, get a better view. There's a nice caddisfly right beside it for comparison. It's a large caddisfly. Good evening, Ryan. Thanks for joining us. Nice to see you. One interesting thing about gypsy moths is that the females are flightless. They don't have wings. There are actually a number of species of moths in which the females do not have wings. Whoever's making that noise is moving around. A very disturbing noise. Maybe just a young great horned owl that's very hungry. Yes, there are lots of broad-winged bush katydids calling around us as well. Thank you for whoever pointed that out. Ginger, yeah. Yeah, you know, porcupine makes more sense for this noise. Wish I had another iPad with me. I would look up the calls, the sounds of porcupine, just to put my mind at rest as to who's making that noise. Flame-shouldered dart. We could go off into the woods, see if we can find it, but unfortunately the Wi-Fi signal wouldn't go very far. Ooh, lots of katydids, several called there at once. I hope everybody's able to hear the katydids. It's an odd frequency. This is that was a zigzag herpetogramma. It just flew away. Oh, here's the fin willow prominent. It's perched on the cord. Fin willow prominent. We've seen it a few times. Beautiful prominent. This is looking pretty much straight down on it. And this is what it looks like from the side. This is a nice fresh individual. Oh, it's so difficult to listen to that porcupine making those noises. Hard to get the camera to focus on the moth. It wants to focus on the cloth in behind. Here's our banded tussock moth. Take a look on the side of the sheet over here. Shingles. It's a banded tussock moth there. Okay, I think we're back. It did disconnect briefly there. I believe this is a new one for us. This is the soybean looper. I think it is the soybean looper. There's another one called the common looper that's similar, but I'm pretty sure this is the soybean looper, and it's sort of a migrant from the south. You always get them in late summer. There's a reticulated fruitworm moth we see every night recently. A bit overexposed. Go back to the sheet. Here's the zigzag herpetogramma is back. Zigzag herpetogramma. These are the ones that have a and it's gone. Didn't go too far, and there's a green lacewing has come in right below the zigzag herpetogramma. My stomach is growling a lot tonight, so if you can't hear the katydids, you could always listen for my stomach growling. Common gluphisia. Somebody fairly large flying around, but didn't stop. There's a plume moth, but he flew already. Didn't go too far. There it is, the plume moth. Over here on the edge of the sheet, there's lesser maple spanworm. His wings mostly closed. There's a reticulated fruitworm moth. Amazing pattern when you can see it. Come on. This looks like, I'm not sure. I'm going to say it looks like a robber fly, but looks like a robber fly midge. But I'm not sure that it's a robber fly. Some kind of a predatory fly. That's some species of Olithrudes. Still more apples falling out of the tree. Not much new coming in. Caddisfly. Black zigzag on the left and the pepper and salt looper on the right. Right where we left them. Sweet fern geometer. Big white one on top, and rotund idia down below. This is another Olithrudes of some kind. Here's one of the ones that we called the twins last night because there were two of them side by side. Anyway, we looked them up, and it's in the genus Diorictria. Ginger, are you missing Alyssa? She'll be back tomorrow night. So this is the genus Diorictria, Diorictria, Diorictria. Common name for the group are coneworms, because the larvae live in the cones of coniferous trees. And we had two very similar species here, the spruce coneworm and the evergreen coneworm. And apparently you can't tell them apart without dissecting them, so we can't be sure which one it is. But it's one of the coneworms. I'll definitely look into that sound, and I'll let you know the next time we do a moth check who is making that noise. It's still doing it, but it's not as loud. There's another Diorictria coneworm there, and this one, need to look this one up. It's related to the herpetogrammas that we see, the zigzag herpetogramma and the bold-feathered grass moth. They're both herpetogrammas. I don't think this is in the same genus, but it's closely related. There's another zigzag herpetogramma. These things are just stunningly beautiful. So those bands that you see in the cloth, in the moth sheet, those bands, alternating bands, are 11 millimeters wide, which is a little bit, just a bit less than half an inch. Just to give you an idea. The wingspan of this one looks like it would be pretty close to 40 millimeters, which would be about 1 2/3 inches. 25 millimeters in 1 inch. 25.4. Not going to settle down for us. Maybe a Habrosine. Just come in down here. Yep. See if I can lift up the sheet a bit. This is the lettered Habrosine. Getting a little bit worn, a little bit frayed at the edges of the wings. Colors aren't quite as bright. Still a pretty amazing pattern. Lettered Habrosine. That's very closely related to a large moth in the center of our thumbnail for the moth check. You remember our thumbnail has a big moth in the center. That's actually the closely related glorious Habrosine that we saw early on one of our first streams. I decided to use that as a centerpiece for our thumbnail. We have, what else do we have on the thumbnail? I think we have green marble, black zigzag, rosy maple moth, Canadian flag, and some other moth I'm forgetting about. For some reason, recently when I go to schedule the moth check, I usually do it a few hours before our scheduled time, which is 11 p.m. Atlantic. But for some reason when I do it, YouTube won't let me upload our custom thumbnail. So I end up having to just take a photograph. I get the thumbnail on my cell phone and I take a photo with my iPad. I take a photo of the cell phone. That's why our thumbnail looks pretty pathetic some nights, crooked, incomplete. But as soon as the stream is over, YouTube allows me to change it to the professional looking thumbnail. That was a sigmoid prominent that we had there for a moment that just flew off. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything at all new coming in. There doesn't seem to be. Pretty much the same moths. There's an ichneumon wasp that we haven't looked at yet tonight. It's a female with an ovipositor at the end of her abdomen. This is in the genus Ophion, O-P-H-I-O-N. I think members of that genus are hard to differentiate, so probably won't know the species name. One more look over here on the shingles. Our soybean looper again. There's another Habracine, but it's already flown off. Here's a sigmoid prominent settled down. Get a better look at him. Sigmoid prominent. These guys always have the abdomen sticking out beyond the end of the tail, beyond the end of the wings, I mean, sorry. And then a little bit of a flare on the end of the abdomen. I think that's a bark louse there. Pretty tiny, hard to get a good look at it. Cone worm and our ugly nest caterpillar moth. My stomach. somebody in the apple tree, as in an animal. I know porcupines love apples. That's a three-lined leaf roller. The moth. And that fly looks like the predator we saw a while ago that was eating a midge. I don't think that's a robber fly. It's a little tiny plant bug. Pale green or pale yellow spots. Actually a little bit of orange or rusty color as well at the end of the elytra. There's a leafhopper. All kinds of things going on here inside the light. Kind of fun just exploring. This is in the genus Platynota. Still don't have those out yet. It may be the exasperating Platynota we were talking about a few nights ago. There's a nice sweet fern geometer. I don't know if any of you, besides Ginger, you really need to have headphones on, I think, to hear that strange sound in the forest, but it doesn't sound as distressed as it did earlier. Sounds a little jovial, in fact, now. All the thrudies. Ginger porcupine. Did you have a chance to look that up by any chance, Ginger? Is that why you're saying porcupine, or? Oh, you did? Oh, well, great. Super. I feel a lot better now because I had this awful picture of a juvenile great horned owl full of porcupine quills, which I've seen before in photos. Meeting call for the porcupines. Super. I sort of feel like I've gone through this exercise a few times before in my life, thinking I was hearing something in distress and learning that it was porcupine mating call. There it goes again. Think of all kinds of jokes I could make now, but I won't. Newman wasp again. Ginger's going to put a link into my messenger. Thank you so much. Here's a, what are these called? I think this is called a diamondback moth. This one with the big wide white stripe down the back. Let me try again here. I think it's a diamondback moth, but I'm not sure. No idea why the colors are changing like that. There we go. No idea where the pink is coming from. There's a plume moth. Has its wings twisted a bit. That time the porcupine sounded like a horse. Who's this? Morn. Oh, I think that's someone we always have to ask Alyssa for. It's Julia's something. Ginger, can you remember? Oh, it's okay. He's gone now. This is one we've seen a few times too. Julius Dicimoloma. That's it. You got it, Ginger. You're amazing. Oh, Alyssa gave you a list. Still, you found it. That's great. Julius Dicimoloma. This one I looked up yesterday, and I've already forgot it. I've already forgotten it. It's striped or striated, but I don't remember what the second part is. It's the genus name, and I don't remember what the genus is. Oh well, I'll try again tomorrow. Powdered bigwing. This is a cochillid moth in the genus Athes. Gone. Not too many live streams where you can listen to the mating calls of porcupines while looking at moths. Sweet fern geometer. And up here, I think this is a large lacewing after the cochillid. The cochillid was in the genus Athes, and I Don't. And large lacewing. Sorry if I skipped over something. Aethes, A-E-T-H-E-S. A-E-T-H-E-S. Aethes. It's a large genus in the family Cotylidae. They're all very small moths. That's it, Ginger. Aethes, yeah. This is in the genus Olathrudes, or closely related, but I'm not sure what it is. Looks familiar, like one I've identified many times before, but I don't recall. Oh, here's a new one for us down here. This is not a rosy maple moth. You're going to think it is when you first see it. This is a primrose moth. This is the moth that spends the day sleeping inside of evening primrose flowers. So they sleep in evening primrose flowers during the day because evening primrose flowers close up during the day. So it's kind of a safe place for them. And the only part of them that sticks out of the flower is the ends of the wings. So the ends of the wings are yellow, the same color as evening primrose flowers are. Nice. First one for the stream. First one for the year. See if we can maybe get a little better look at it. Seems like it's already a little bit worn. I see there's a lot of scales missing from the thorax. Primrose moth, nice. It's almost like a reversed rosy maple moth. The same colors, but in reversed positions. Like zigzag. Primrose moth. Nice. Take a This is pond-side parallid moth. Pond-side parallid. Parallid is P-Y-R-A-L-I-D. Pond-side, all one word. Pond-side parallid moth. Parallid is P-Y. Parallid, P-Y-R-A-L-I-D. That's it. Perfect, Ginger. Thank you. Pretty sharp looking moth. Pretty small, but awesome pattern. Yeah, it's in the family Parallidae. So it's another aquatic, it's an aquatic parallid. The caterpillars live in the water. Sorry, it's kind of hard to get a good focus on the shingles. Rotunda idia. few odds and ends on the side of the sheet. There's a flame-shouldered dart and back. Yep, sorry. The light has come loose here. There we go. Perfect repair job. Nice big caddisfly down here. The one with the 3 white spots on the middle of the wing. And a very different caddisfly, the smaller one, just below it, just to the right of it. Caddisflies, of course, spend most of their life as larvae in water. Find them in streams, brooks, rivers. I suppose they're found in lakes and ponds as well, but I sort of think of them more as in running water, fresh water. Gosh, our time is going by. Just take one more quick look. Here's a new arrival. This is a dagger. Another very dark dagger. I think this could be. I think we had this dagger a few nights ago. I think it's either night wandering dagger or impressed dagger. I forgot to look that up. Night wandering or impressed dagger. Perfect. Nice pattern on this micro moth. Take one last look on the other side here. Lesser maple spanworm. Mosquito on my nose. Zigzag herpetogramma. And this is one I need to look up. Very, very attractive pattern as well. That's a sharp angled carpet there. And lesser maple spanworm up above it. Sorry, they're overexposed. I see there's a habrocene up here on the shingles. This is also the lettered abrosine. Oh, what's this called? What is that called? Maple spanworm? It's a soybean looper once again. That large brown one we just saw, I think it's called, I don't remember. It's maple's in the name anyway. Maple, it's plain maple looper, or maybe it's maple spanworm. It's still up there. It was. It's on my arm now. There's two zigzag herpetogrammas here now. This beauty and this beauty. Sweet fern geometer. Broad-winged bush katydids calling. Three-lined leaf roller. The buff-tipped Pepinodia. Some kind of a small beetle. All right. To the primrose moth. Wow, 60 minutes. Let's see if I can find the moon for you. Oh, must be behind some clouds, or it's behind the apple tree. Oh, I don't see it. Anyway, thank you all for being here again. A lot of fun to share these moths with everyone. Hope you enjoy watching it, and please click the like button if you haven't already done so. Thank you, Ginger. You did an awesome job. You're just amazing. Thank you so much. Chloe and JB, you're the best. Thank you so much. Mojave, thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. You still have quite a few hours left. Mary, if you're still here, thanks. Thanks very much for joining us. Nola, India, if you're out there somewhere, have a great night in New Orleans. We'll see you soon. We heard from Dan in Clovis, California, the time sync, Dan number 2. today that he thinks he's over the hump. He and his wife, his partner Shelley, have COVID. Shelley tested positive today for the first time, and Dan thinks he's on the mend. So good news from them. And we'll see you all tomorrow or sometime soon. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.